Hi, I'm Eddie Bishop. I'm here with Brian Samville, and we're going to take you through a boxer's workout. We're going to start with our warm-up, head right into footwork. We're going to do some shadow boxing, some speed bag, heavy bag, double M bag work. We're going to go through the mitts, show you some conditioning drills, and finish up with some jumping rope. Okay, hand wrapping. It's pretty simple if you've done it 2,000 times, but I have a pretty good method of wrapping hands. This side down, that's going to face your skin. So I'm going to take this little latch here and I'm going to put it on Brian's thumb, like this. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to go twice around his wrist, like that. Twice, once, twice around his knuckles. I'm going to go back around the wrist, back around the knuckles like that, upper part of his hand. Then I'm going to go back around his wrist and loop his thumb, like that. Make an X here and through his fingers. Starting with the pinky, middle, to the index here. Okay, it's going to tighten everything up. Back around the wrist, back around the knuckles, tighten all that slop up here. Now, with the remainder of the wrap, I'm just going to make small X's, like so. Okay, and I'm more concerned with the wrist and the small bones in the hand than I am around the knuckles. So now I have about 2.5, 3 feet of wrap left. I'm just gonna make one more X like that and use the rest on his wrist. If you wrap your hands and you have sore wrists, it's okay to maybe put a little tape all around the wrist, tighten everything up a little bit. That is the right side. Let's switch around here. Switch positions. We're gonna do the other hand, and it's the same. It's the same for both hands. I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna loop the thumb. I'm gonna go twice around the wrist, twice around the knuckles, once around the wrist, back around to the knuckles, X back around the thumb, and through the fingers. I'm just going to make a few small X's. I'm just going to use the remainder around his wrist. And that's hand wrapping. Warming up for boxing doesn't take much. You just got to get your upper body and your lower body warm. One exercise I like to do is basically jogging in place. And you don't need a lot of space. Sometimes you're in a gym that's crowded. You don't have a lot of room to warm up, to run around, so you just jog in place. So Brian, what I want you to do is just get your feet going, pump them up. Okay. Right now, you're just warming the body up. You're warming your lower body up, getting the arms going, and you can do this exercise for 3 minutes. You can get the punches straight up in the air, Lifting your knees up, loosening your hips up, loosening your shoulders up. As you can see, you don't need a lot of space to do this. Your elbows come back down to your rib cage. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can also punch straight out. The great thing about this exercise is you're getting your upper body to work with your lower body. Your arms are working with your legs. Your hands are working with your feet. Just like boxing, when you step into a punch, you step in with your whole body, left then right. So it's a great exercise. You can also take a few steps in and a few steps out while you punch. And do the same thing punching straight up. Elbows come back down to your ribs. Reaching for the ceiling, turn your punches over at the top. After 3 minutes of this, you'll be ready to do your footwork drills and your shadow boxing. We're going to have a basic stance. Brian, I want you to stand shoulders width apart. Take one step back with your right foot, so your right foot's about 4 inches in back of your lead heel. If you had a clock in front of you, you want your front foot to face out about noontime, your rear foot to face out at 1 o'clock. Exactly. You want your knees slightly bent, resting your body weight on the balls of your feet. Hands are going to go up by your temples, tucking your thumbs over your fingers. Okay. Elbows are tucked into the side of your ribs and your back is straight. Okay. That's your basic stance. You always want your feet under your shoulders. And no matter where you step, your feet will be under your shoulders. If you take 2 steps in, Brian, your whole body works together. 2 steps in, now take 2 steps back. Your whole body goes back. Your feet move together. If you take a step with your left foot, you're going to take a step with your right. And that's the same for going left and right, lateral movement. If you go to the left, step, step. If you go to the right, step, step. You also got to keep your chin tucked into your lead shoulder. All right. If you get punched here and your chin's up, it's going to hurt. If it's down, it's going to absorb a lot of that punch just because it's tucked down and it's protected. And your shoulder also protects your hands, your chin hair as well. Your hands protect your temples. Your elbows protect your rib cage. That's the basic stance. Okay, now we're going to go over the jab. Jab's the most important punch in boxing. It sets up your straight right, your left hook, your uppercut. It also keeps your opponent away from you when he's trying to attack. So Brian, let's get in our boxing stance. Okay, hands are up high. Okay, lead foot's out in front. Right. Okay, good. So the jab from the traditional righty stance is going to be his left hand. He's going to extend his left hand out. Everything's here is at shoulder height. Okay, the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, everything's at shoulder height. It's going to snap out and then come back the same way it went out. The elbow, it rests on the rib cage here. I like to think popcorn. Popcorn's pop. Okay, power is in the pop. It's not in that power and that lunging throw. It's in the pop. Just like popcorn popping, like a piston in a car shoots out and comes back quick. It's more about speed when it comes to the jab. So Brian, I want you to throw the jab out. Very good. And he's breathing out, which makes the punch that much more effective. Very good. Now, if your opponent is, say, here, you've got to get to your opponent. You have to step in and throw your jab. So, Brian, what I want you to do is step in, throw your jab, reposition yourself, take a step back. Very good. Brian's pushing off the right foot. His left foot's coming off the ground, landing. Then his right foot's coming back. If you take a step with your left foot, you're going to take a second step with your right foot. And it's the opposite going back. If you take a step with your right foot, you're going to have to take a step with your left to reposition your feet under your shoulders. The next punch we're going to go over is the straight right. Okay? The straight right is going to go straight out, and it's going to extend. Shoulder, elbow, and wrist all at the same height. You're going to get your power from the floor. You're going to turn on the ball of your rear foot, kicking your heel out, just like Brian's doing, and then it's going to retract all together. So, Brian, I want you to throw that straight right. Very good. I want you to do it very slow so everybody can see how it extends out. You're turning on the ball of your rear foot. Your hand's going out and then coming back. It's also important to turn the punch over. It's like a whip. When a whip snaps, it goes out loose, it turns over, tightens up, and then comes back. Throw the straight right, Brian. Let's put that together. Let's throw the jab and then the straight right. Very good. Notice Brian has great form. He's keeping his back straight. He's not leaning into anything. He's very economical with his power and his speed. Everything's tight and straight. Now I want you to step into that 1-2, Brian. Very good. And step back. Brian's taking 2 steps in. When the right foot lands, he turns on the ball of his rear foot, lets that straight right go, and then brings it back to his temple, steps back, gets out of trouble. Third punch we're going to go over is the left hook. The left hook is a nice punch to throw after the straight right. It's going to pop up from the elbow here, okay? And everything's going to be a shoulder height. Elbow, wrist. I like to picture a basketball between my chest and my arm. I have a 90-degree angle here and here, okay? And I turn on the ball of my lead foot this time, okay? And when I bring it back, everything comes back. Brian, I want you to throw the left hook. I want you to slow it down and bring that elbow up high. And you pop it. Exactly. Pop in the elbow. Pop. 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 Let's put that combination together. I want you to throw the jab, straight right, left hook. Notice how Brian's turning on the straight right and then the left hook. He's putting his whole body into the punch when he turns on that combination. Now we're gonna step into the jab straight right, jab straight left hook. Jab straight hook. Jab straight hook. Jab straight hook. Another punch we're going to go over today is the uppercut. We're going to go over the right uppercut. When you throw the right uppercut, you want to turn your wrist in, like Brian, bring the punch up, pop it, and bring it back. Notice how that Brian is turning on the right, the ball of his right foot. He's popping the punch, and he's bringing it back to his temple. So he's dropping and popping and bringing it back to his temple. Good. And break. Right now we're going to do a series of footwork drills designed to give you coordination, foot speed, and stamina. The first drill we're going to do is the ring circle drill. Brian's going to demonstrate the ring circle. You basically want to have your feet under your shoulders, short choppy steps with your feet. Hands are up by your temples and elbows are going to be tucked into your rib cage. It's very important you keep your back straight and you breathe. You breathe properly through your nose, out through your mouth. And just relax in there and circle around the ring. The back of your legs are going to touch the middle of each rope. So you're basically making a circle inside of the square ring. And right now Brian's going to demonstrate the circle drill. Every time he gets back to the red corner, he's going the other way. Notice how quiet it is in the ring. You can't hear him move because he's not scuffing his feet. He's picking his feet up while he moves. He's keeping them under his shoulders. His knees are slightly bent. His elbows are tucked in. His hands are up and his chin's down. It's real smooth. He also has a variation when he gets back to the corner. He's going to throw a combination. So if he's circling left, he comes to the corner, throws a 1, 2, and goes to the right. Now he's going to finish with a left hook, a jab straight, left hook. He's going to go to the left. It's a good habit. Whatever side you finish with, go to that side. If you finish with a straight right, you're going to step to your right. If you finish with your left hook, so your left side, you're going to go to your left. We take 3 minutes, 3 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest, or 30-second rest. You don't need that minute rest when you're in shape. You need that 30-second rest. You're going to get in better shape going 30 seconds rest, 3 minutes work. Try to look straight out. Don't look down at the ground. Don't look up at the ceiling. Your eyes are always focused on your opponent. And break. Our next drill is a side-to-side lateral shuffle drill. Not only do you need to get into your opponent and get your punches off, step away, you need to get around your opponent and step to the side, either the right or the left. What this drill is going to do is going to help develop your footwork to get either to the right or to the left around your opponent. This is called the side-to-side shuffle drill, and Brian's going to demonstrate it. Notice Brian's hands are up by his temples. His elbows are tucked into the side of his ribs. His back is straight. His knees are slightly bent. He's up on the balls of his feet, and he's silent when he moves. Right now, when he gets to the ropes, when he gets to the left rope, he's turning on the right heel. The pivoting on the right foot and then the left foot. When he gets to the right side of the rope, he's turning on the left foot and then the right foot. The key here is never to cross your feet up. You want to box like a duck walks. When a duck walks, he never crosses his feet, right? You got to shuffle side to side, never cross your feet up. If you ever get hit and you cross your feet, you're going to fall down. And you don't want that to happen. You drill over and over and over again, side to side. Brian, now I just want you to shuffle side to side. Yep, keep your lead foot out in front. It's very important that your lead foot faces out at your opponent. If you have a mirror in front of you, you're always looking at you. You are your opponent. That's something to keep in mind. And you can see everything in the mirror. You can see that your hands are up by your temples, your elbows are in, your foot's facing out. Good form. Chin's tucked down into your lead shoulder. Left hand up high, Brian. Time. Our next footwork drill, we're going to shuffle around the ring. We're going to have lateral movement, and we're going to go forward, and we're going to go back. This drill incorporates all of your footwork where you are going around the entire ring. It's going to develop your stamina, your foot speed, and your coordination, and Brian is going to demonstrate that now. Always keep in mind the basics. The hands are up, chin's down, elbows are in, back is straight, knees are bent. You're up on the balls of your feet, and you're not crossing your feet. Lead foot always points out at your opponent. Chin's always tucked down into your lead shoulder. Break. Next drill is the jab drill. The jab's the most important punch in boxing, it's going to set up everything else. It's going to set up the straight right, the left hook, the right uppercut. It also keeps your opponent away from you. When he's attacking, you can throw your jab and keep him away. You can throw your jab going to the right, to the left, back, forward. It's the most important punch. It's not a really strong punch, but it's a fast punch. You want to throw that punch quick. And this drill is designed to give you that quickness because it's the only punch you're throwing, so you're throwing a lot of jabs. And Brian's going to demonstrate the jab drill now. Always incorporating the basics. Hands are up, chin's down, elbows are in, back is straight, knees bent, up on the balls of your feet. I like to make believe the jab is like a piston in a car. It's going out and coming back with speed. Your hand comes back to your temple, your elbow comes back to your rib cage. Break. Tire drill is a good drill to condition your feet, also condition your legs, as well as work on your stance, your head movement, your defense, and your combinations. The great thing about a tire, when you stand on it, Brian, can you stand on the tire, please? When you stand on it, that's about where your feet are supposed to be. So if your feet come too close together, you're going to fall inside the tire. If you get too wide, you're going to fall out. So it helps you stay in your stance. Now, while you're on the tire, you want to keep your hands up by your temples. Okay, everything stays the same. Hands up, chin down, back straight, elbows in, knees bent. Okay. So from that stance, you can work side to side, slipping punches. Everything's coming from the weight. Everything comes from the weight. Slip, 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 slip. Okay? You can condition your legs by dropping down. You can drop down, work your legs. Drop down, roll under. Drop down, roll under. You can work your calves by moving around the tire. Moving to the right, to the left. That's going to get you comfortable moving to the right or to the left when you're boxing while staying in your stance. You can throw a combination and then move. Again, if you notice, Brian, if he finishes with his right, he kind of moves around to his right. So, he has good habits. If he finishes with his left, he steps to his left. And all along, his body's being trained not to fall out of his stance, to keep his feet under his shoulders. And all this is the basic rubber tire, old rubber tire from a junkyard. I put a tube in it. It's not fancy, and it's very effective. You can do a round of this, 3 minutes on. It's a great footwork drill. We've gone over footwork and we've gone over punches. Now I want to put them together for shadow boxing. What we're going to do is we're going to throw real basic punches. We're going to throw either a jab straight right, a jab straight right left hook. It's very important that you step over to the right or to the left when you shadow box. You don't want to be in harm's way. After you punch, get out of the way. Finish with your left hook, step to your left. If you finish with your straight right, step to your right. So Brian's going to step in. He's going to throw a jab. Bang. Now Brian has the option, okay, depending on what I do, either to step to the right or to step to the left. I step here, Brian can take a step over. I step here, Brian can step over. Brian throws a jab straight right, okay, he's going to step over to his right. I can't hit him. He's stepped over. He's controlling me. Now I have to step over to my right. He's one step ahead of me. If Brian throws a jab straight right, left hook, he's going to pivot off to the left. Okay? Again, I have to step if I want to hit him. Okay? Keep in mind, Brian is always in a good position. His hands are always up by his temple. They always come back to his temple. His back is always straight so he doesn't get hit with counter punches. And he doesn't use a lot of energy when he's straight. He can breathe properly. Okay? Also, when he steps, he's going to keep his feet under his shoulders. He's not going to take one wide step and stay out there. He's going to take a step and then a second step, no matter where he goes, all the time, every time. Let's do that again. We throw the jab, okay, depending on what I do, okay, yeah, he's going to move, okay. If I take a step directly back, he could throw two jabs. Okay, good. Let's move back. If he throws a 1-2 and steps to the right, he's out of harm's way. If he throws a 1-2 hook, steps to the left, he's out of harm's way. When you shadow box, you want to use the ring and get used to the ring. So what this step over also allows you to do, it allows you to use the whole ring, not just a small space. You can use the entire ring when you step over. It also transfers over to the heavy bag. If you finish with a combination on the heavy bag, and you step to your right, well, you position yourself up for a new combination and a new look at the heavy bag. It also transfers over to the double end bag where you can throw your combinations and step over. This drill is the duck under drill. It's a very important drill for evading punches, evading hooks, right hooks, left hooks. You need to get under your opponent and roll back under. This drill is the duck under drill. It's all it is. It's a rope and two bungee cords. You tie a bungee cord on each end, extend it the length of the ring, and you want it about shoulder height. When someone throws a hook at you, you roll under the punch, either to the right or to the left to evade the punch. Remember, when someone throws a straight punch at you, just like the maze ball, I'm going side to side. If someone throws a hook at me, I'm rolling under. Notice how my feet are working together. If I step to my right, right, left. If I step to my left, left, right. On the duck under drill, we're going to step to the right, then step to the left. Step, 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 step. Step, 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 step. Keep your hands up by your temples, Brian. Step, 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 step. All the way down. This is going to condition your legs. Keep in mind you want to have a straight back. You don't want to get caught with any uppercuts. Just step, step. There's a variation. Brian's stepping under and working his footwork. He's turning on the balls of his feet. Now when Brian turns around and brings it back the other way, I'm going to have him throw a few punches. When he gets to the right side of the rope, he's going to throw a straight right, left hook. When he rolls onto the other side, left hook, straight right. That's it. Very good. Step, step, punch, punch, step, step, punch, punch. There are a lot of different combinations you can throw. You can throw 4 punches. You can throw uppercuts and hooks. The simplest punch, the simplest combination to start out with is either a hook straight right on the left side of the rope or a straight right hook on the right side of the rope. Breathing out on your punches, turning on your punches, slipping under, throwing your punches, slipping under, just slipping under, not throwing any punches. You can also go backwards. Going backwards, throwing combinations. Keep in mind, someone throws a hook at you, you roll under. Someone throws a straight punch at you, you slip to the right or to the left. Time. Side-to-side head movement is important in boxing. You need to get out of the way of your opponent's punch. Okay, if you get you want to slip over to your side, either to your right or to your left. The maze ball was designed to make your head move either to the right or the left, and then counter punch or come back to center. If somebody throws a straight left at me, okay, I want to slip over to my right. If somebody throws a straight right at me, I'm going to slip over to my left. It's very important that I stay nice and straight and slip over my side. I want to slip over my hip. I don't want to lean forward and be susceptible to an uppercut or fall off balance. This is the maze ball. The maze ball is it weighs about 2 pounds. It just swings back and forth. Okay? And when it slips back and forth, all you're going to do is slip either to the left or to the right. Picture yourself like a clock. When the clock goes tick, tock, tick, tock. That's what your body's going to do. Brian's going to demonstrate slipping the maze ball. Okay, Brian, I just want you to come over here. I'm just going to let it go. And he's going to slip to the right, to the left. It's very important that you keep your back straight and you slip to the left, to the right. And if it does hit you, it's going to get your attention. It's not going to knock you out or buzz you, but you're going to know when it hits you that it hits you. And if it does, just reposition, throw the maze ball off to the side, and slip. You want to keep your hands tattooed right up high. That's it. It's like a straight right or a left hook coming at you, and you're just getting out of the way of the punch. You can also slip and counter punch. Brian's making this look easy. It takes a little while to get the coordination down to slip, punch, then get out of the way. You can throw different combinations. You want to throw them with speed. You're always coming back to center. If you slip to your left, you're going to come back to your center. Slip to your right, come back to your center. You can slip and then slip to the same side. Slip, slip, yeah. Slip left, or slip right. Whatever punch is coming at you, you can get out of the way. And this is an advanced drill. You're a constant moving target. When you move your head, your opponent can't zone in on the target, which is your head, because it's a constant moving target. It's like when you're fishing, you have a bobber. That bobber is constantly moving. It's similar to what your head's doing when you're boxing. Slipping side to side, slipping, counter punching. If you slip to the left, it's nice to come back with that left hook. If you slip to the right, it's nice to come back with that straight right or right uppercut. Good work, Brian. Two common mistakes in boxing are dropping your hands and lifting your chin up. There are a couple of ways you can fix that problem. You can get hit a lot and you have to cover up. Okay, you have to keep your hands up because you get knocked out all the time. Same thing with your chin. You got to keep your chin down. You have a trainer constantly yell at you, keep your hands up, keep your chin down. Sometimes the trainer's not there, so you need to work on keeping your chin down on your own. This is called the chin down. And all you do is put this around your neck here, place it under your left side, and your boxer, your fighter, needs to keep that little cushion under his chin. Now, if he lifts his chin up, it'll fall down. Brian, lift your chin up, it falls down. So it's going to let you know if you're lifting your chin up just by that simple movement. Just lift your chin up, it's going to fall down. What you can do is you can shadow box a couple of rounds with the chin in, and that will help you develop good form, help you develop the chin down. Just like that. Shadow box a couple rounds with it in. Shadow box a couple rounds with it out, and you'll feel the difference. You'll know when your chin's down. It's good to shadow box both with gloves and without gloves. Sometimes if you shadow box with gloves and you take them off, your hands are going to feel really fast because you have weight on there. It's a pretty neat feeling, and it's good to practice both with and without gloves on shadow boxing. Hands up, Brian. And it's difficult. You're not aware that your chin is coming up all the time. Sometimes it's just a slight inch or two your chin comes up. Well, that can get you in trouble in a fight. So the more you drill and the more you're aware of your chin coming up, the better off you're going to be when the real thing comes around. We just finished up with our footwork drills. Now we're going to move into shadow boxing. I like my fighters to shadow box and warm up 3 to 4 rounds of shadow boxing. Brian's going to do a round now, shadow boxing. He's going to be working different combinations. And he's going to do that now. Notice how Brian sets everything up with the jab. When he does throw a combination, he's using his whole body on the punches. He's turning on that straight right. He's turning on that left hook. And his hands, they're coming back to his temple. He's also stepping off to the side when he finishes a combo. If he finishes with a left hook, he's pivoting off to the left. If he finishes with that straight right, he's stepping over to his right. Brian always throws something different. He's had a few fights, so he knows that if you throw the same combination every time, the opponent's going to know, and he's going to throw a counter punch because he knows it's coming. Well, Brian throws something different every time. His opponent's, he's not going to know what's coming. It's always good to do your footwork and your shadow boxing before anything else. You're still fresh and you can think when you're shadow boxing. If you're real tight, you might be a little sloppy in there, your hands might drop, and that's not a good thing. It's always good to shadow box and footwork before everything else. Good hand speed. Time. What is that? What is that?